Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. By Safeco Insurance, find a local agent at safeco.com. Do more. And by your local Ford stores. Absolutely gorgeous day here in Seattle. Mariners playing the middle game of this three-game series from inside beautiful Safeco Field. Mariners and the Oakland A's a chance for a series win tonight. And Mike, if the Mariners get production like this from their DH once again tonight, a win will be a little bit easier. Nelson Cruz last night, number 6 on the season, and it landed somewhere in the vicinity of what we're seeing right now. 410 feet later for Nelly.
We don't talk about it a lot, but it seems that whenever we mention exit velocity or launch angle, it involves Nelson Cruz, a towering home run, 3-run home run for the Mariners in last night's ball game, his 6th home run of the year. He is really starting to heat up.
And this will be something we talk about over the course of the broadcast tonight, Mike. This is some interesting notes on the Mariners offense so far this year. The lowest walk rate in the majors. Meanwhile, strikeout rate among the lowest in the majors as well. And you look at the contact rate, pitches in the strike zone, the highest of any team.
And I think that is the big key, the one there at the bottom. Most of the time you'd like teams that are going to be a little more patient. That is not the case with the Mariners this year. They are swinging the bats. And right now they are 4th in the league in hitting, 6th in runs scored. They continue to climb up that ladder with the way that they're scoring runs at such a high rate. Why change anything?
Okay, you talk about somebody getting up there eager to swing the bat. How about this guy, D. Gordon, last night, his 3rd career 5-hit game, 9 hits his last 2 games.
Well, who would have known it starts with a simple bunt base hit, and then he's going to hit this ball out into the gap. Would have been a triple, except for it bounces over the fence. And again, for D, just putting the ball in play, making things happen. He also had a couple of stolen bases in last night's ball game. Well, what a night for him. Has raised his batting average up to .339 as we start the game tonight.
Yeah, his average has gone up about 30 points over the last few days. Well, a good friend of D. Gordon. Ichiro in the lineup tonight. Mariners get it set. Game 2 of 3. Mariners and the A's. We got first pitch coming up right after this. Goes deep. He slides in. He's safe. Struck him out. Back out to left field. There it goes. There goes deep. He slides in. He's safe. Picture perfect night here in Seattle inside Safeco Field. We've got the middle game of this 3-game series. The Mariners and the Oakland A's. A win tonight for the Mariners behind James Paxton would mean a series win, yet another series win for the Mariners. off to a fantastic start, 17 and 11 as we take a look at the starting lineup James Paxton will face tonight.
And the A's have been swinging the bats well. Third in the American League in hitting. Jed Lowry, a home run in last night's ballgame. He will hit third, his 7th of the year. He has been the hot hitter. The cleanup hitter, Chris Davis, dangerous hitter, 7 home runs for him. And hitting 6th in the lineup, Mark Canha, off to a good start this year, hitting .309 for the A's. For James Paxton, again coming off a really good outing. This will be his 7th start of the year. In 31 2/3, he has 44 strikeouts on the year. Opponents hitting just .244 against him.
Semien fouling away the first pitch. Semien bumped up a spot to the leadoff role tonight. You know, Mike, going into Paxton's last start, that was on the road trip in Cleveland. He and Scott had said that they wanted to see him throw the curveball more. We saw that from James.
Yeah, the curveball percentage was up a little bit. I think he may even throw a little bit more tonight.
A quick start for James. Strikes out the first man that he sees.
We'll take a look at the defense behind Paxton. Ichiro getting the start. He is going to play left field today. Kyle Seager had a really good night defensively at third base, and Mike Zunino will do the catching.
In steps Chad Pender.
Fastball at 95 miles an hour. That's his average fastball this year. Opponents hitting .232 off of the fastball from James. Mentioned his curveball and a slider.
Only 7 pitchers in the majors average a higher velocity on their fastball than James. 6 pitches, all strikes.
I think that is one of the keys for James. The fastball, the first 2 down in the zone, and then once he gets 2 strikes, elevate the fastball at 96 miles an hour, just above the belt. Able to throw it by him.
Strike 1. Back of the glove of Zunino, 0-2.
His best fastball at 97 miles an hour on the outside corner.
Paxton's 0-2.
Aaron, are you going to be okay?
Mike?
You were that close to it.
Darn you, Jed Lowry. You know, there's only been one immaculate inning in franchise history. That was the king, Felix Hernandez. Thought, Mike? In fact, I thought after the first 3 pitches we might have the second one tonight. Another 0-2. There is still more time for James.
For those that don't know, it's Aaron's favorite thing, the immaculate inning. And you were that close to it.
Oh, you were that close. You know, we saw one in spring training. Edwin Diaz had one. The newly minted American League reliever of the month.
It's the first curveball. James had a chance. Had 3 strikeouts and 9 pitches.
Well, if we have not talked about the immaculate inning enough for you to know, the immaculate inning is striking out the side on 9 pitches. Into center, D. Gordon charged it in on a hop. Well, Jed Lowry just continues to hit this year. He's batting nearly .340 entering tonight. It's a 2-out single. We're talking about Edwin Diaz. How about these numbers, March and April, Mike?
Take a look at it. Saves 11-4-11. ERA a 0.63 ERA. 27 strikeouts over the 7 walks. Opponent's average next to nothing at a 0 or an 0.43 batting average against him. Just a great start to the season for Edwin Diaz.
Davis looks at ball 1. Yeah, the 0.43 average is because there have been 2 hits against him. Word is both those balls have been authenticated and sent to Cooperstown. Just incredible. 2-0. Mariners winning last night. Diaz picking up the save once again. Gets the corner, 2-1. It's been a long road trip for the A's, and maybe even a little bit longer for Chris Davis. You see the numbers. 3-city trip, all teams in the West. 2-2.
Well, James has the good fastball tonight. He's topped out at 98 here in the first inning. Typically, that's a good sign for him.
Paxton's 2-2. Strike 3. That seemed inevitable for Paxton to strike out the side. He does so with the Jed Lowry single sprinkled in.
Mariners starting lineup brought to you by Jack in the Box. D. Gordon 5 for 5 in last night's ball game, raising his average up to 339. Also had a couple of stolen bases. Nelson Cruz, the cleanup hitter, had a home run and 3 RBIs in last night's game. Nelson now with 6 home runs, and Ichiro hitting .364 in his career against Anderson. He will round out the 9.
The Mariners have now won 8 of their last 11, and the offense has been a major reason why. In that span, Mike averaging 6 runs a game, averaging 10 hits a game, nearly 2 homers a contest. And of course, this guy's averaging about 3 hits tonight. Out to the gap in left center. Smolinski, a lot of room to cover. What a catch! Jake Smolinski taking a hit away from D. Gordon. A seemingly impossible task the last 48 hours.
Well, for Jake Smolinski, not playing last night's ball game, getting the start in center field tonight. He was fortunate, turned his wrist over right as he was starting to hit the ground. Play was close to actually coming out of his glove and hitting the ground, but he was able to hold on to it. Again, Jake Smolinski making the great catch. Did not play in last night's game. In right field, Stephen Piscotty, his first start of the series. Mark Canha, who had been in center field, is now at first base this evening.
First pitch to Segura. Now this is a big day for Brett Anderson, making his 2018 Major League debut back with the A's. Cubs opening day rotation last year. A back injury resulted in his second back surgery. He's also had Tommy John. Cost him much of last year. This would normally be the slot for Kendall Graveman to work for the A's, their opening day starter. An 8.89 earned run average for Graveman over his first 6 starts, leading the majors in earned runs. He was sent down to AAA. So here's Anderson, who began the season in the high minors.
Show the numbers. He has pitched well against the Mariners in his career. A 1.9 ERA. Doesn't have the velocity that he used to. Fastball will be right around 90, 91 miles an hour.
Right to Jed Lowry. And that velocity you're talking about, you go back, well, this point it was maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago. He's pumping 95, 96.
An easy 95, 96. Pretty good curveball to go with it. He's trying to work his way back.
Two outs for Cano. Still as a statue, taking strike one. A's pitching has really struggled recently. Last 3 games, they've copped up 22 earned runs. Mariners getting 6 of those last night. Back out to Lowry. And Brett Anderson, a 1-2-3. Bottom of the first. We go to the second, scoreless. A totally cool accessory, a James Paxton fanny pack. Tickets can be had at Mariners.com. Matt Chapman fouls off the first pitch. And we'll be seeing the Angels mount the Pujols over the weekend. Now 3 hits shy of 3,000 as Chapman stings this over to Ichiro in left field, who snags it for out number 1.
On the curveball, line drive, just able to hang on to it. Take a look at our Primera Supermo and the catch by Ichiro in left field off the heel of his glove, but able to hang on to it. A more recognizable Mark Canha tonight. sound like you're disappointed.
I am disappointed. On a 61-degree evening last night, Canna was sporting the ski mask, which apparently has become a thing for Canna this year, especially given his hot start early.
I understand that he will report the weather and decide whether he is going to wear the mask or not. Apparently he thought it was appropriate last night.
The 0-2.
James, 18 pitches in the first inning. He missed it. He had 3 strikeouts, gave up 1 base hit.
Four early strikeouts for James Paxton.
That's a pretty good slider. Velocity has been there tonight. He's topped out at 98. And then you're going to see the slider right underneath the hands. And that's the key, is the location of it. Just ties him up. Another look at it. I think for James, they'll let him throw 115, maybe even 120. I know that's something that Scott talked about before his last outing, and then he had an inning where he really had to work, and they decided to take him out of the game after 102 pitches. His high this year, 106.
Well, really, the timing of James going tonight is perfect when you consider tomorrow Wade LeBlanc making his first start of the season. Of course, not fully stretched out. Let's see what his pitch limitations are tomorrow. So if Paxton can get deep into the ballgame, save the bullpen a little bit.
And that would be helpful. LeBlanc in his last outing, I believe it was 71 pitches. And talking to Scott today, he said that it was probably a little more than he even wanted him to throw. But Wade decided to take the ball and give him 1 more inning to get to that point. So probably 75 pitches for him tomorrow.
5 strikeouts. James Paxton through 2 innings. Finishes off Piscotty at 97. Robbing D. Gordon of a hit to begin the Mariners first. Talking a little catch probability now. 6%, Mike, seems to be maybe among the lowest we have ever seen.
I think it is the lowest that we have seen.
You look
just able to hold on to it. I think he had to use both hands once he rolled over. Kind of pinned it against his chest.
And if you're not familiar with catch probability in layman terms, it's basically determining the likelihood that a ball will be caught by an outfielder based on the time in which he has to get there, the distance he needs to cover, and the direction as well.
So it's safe to say that D. Gordon was robbed.
I would say he was most certainly robbed. He has been robbed much recently. 1-2 on Cruz, beginning the Mariners' second. Nelly last night connected on his 6th home run of the season, 3-run shot. Some Nelly fans up in the Grove. Strikeout tonight for Anderson. Use your Mariners ticket to ride Link Light Rail to and from the game through June 3rd. You can learn more at soundtransit.org. One out, that brings up Mitch Haniger. Like we were talking before the game even began about the Mariners among the lowest walk rate in the majors, but also amongst the lowest strikeout rate in the majors. I know you had a chance to talk during BP with Scott Prochas a little bit.
Yeah, it was an interesting conversation, I thought. When you consider, oh, they did hit him. Foul ball? No, it's going to be a foul ball. I asked him about it, just how aggressive they've been, and like most managers would, he kind of smiled. He said, well, I would prefer maybe to be a little more patient. He said, though, that being said, I have to let these guys be who they are. And the majority of them are aggressive. Now you're looking at Robinson Cano there next to Edgar. Robbie has been, I think, as patient as anybody and had a great command of the strike zone. But when they're rolling like they are now offensively, you just kind of leave that alone and let them go hit. Probably not optimal, but for them it works. And you have some aggressive hitters at the top of the lineup. D. Gordon is not going to walk a lot. Segura the same. They're ready to hit. The good news with them is both of them will get right around 200 hits this year, so they'll still be on base a lot.
Back-to-back strikeouts by Anderson here in the second.
But I really like the fact that Scott was talking about it, and at the end he said, I just have to let these guys be who they are, especially now. And he said, and at times with that sort of attack being that aggressive, they might go 2 or 3 games where it doesn't work out for them, and starting pitchers are able to get a little bit deeper in the ball game because they are so aggressive. But with the way things are going right now, he's just going to let them go. And why wouldn't you?
That's what we saw against Felix for years.
Right, exactly.
2 outs, in steps Seager, turns away from the first pitch. Same story. Anderson in his second stint with the A's, and you go back earlier in his career, 2 earned runs or fewer in 13 of his 15 starts against the Mariners. Terrific numbers. Lineup a little bit different than the ones that he faced in the earlier days.
Yeah, that, and he doesn't have the same fastball that he used to, which is going to make a difference. He's down 4 or 5 miles an hour.
2-1 on Kyle.
I was wondering if maybe Anderson knows about the numbers with Kyle Seager since 2012. Kyle has hit more home runs left on left than anybody else, and the first 2 pitches move him off the plate.
Sharp grounder off the Canna's glove into right field. Seager aboard a 2-out base hit.
And for Kyle, we mentioned it, after being moved off the plate a couple of times, going to be aggressive on the fastball, and it pays off for him. Mark Canna was in center field yesterday, at first base today. It goes right off the thumb of his glove. Maybe there was a chance for Kyle to go for 2, but the Scotty, the right fielder, was able to get to it in a hurry and hold him to a single.
Canna making his 3rd start at first base this year. Zunino on the first pitch. Canna on the track by the dugout for out number 3. 2 innings in the books. Mariners of the A's scoreless. SafecoDealers.com. And by Safeco Insurance. Find a local agent at Safeco.com. Do more. A beautiful day to be at Waterfall Park over in Pioneer Square. We are scoreless as we open up the third inning. Lucroy stares at strike one.
This is exactly what you want to see. 8 batters, 7 first pitch strikes. 31 pitches, 25 strikes.
Paxton's 0-2. Yet another strikeout. 6 punch-outs for Paxton. First 8 batters faced.
After a couple of pretty good fastballs, he comes right back. That's the slider right underneath the hands. Picked up a couple of strikeouts using the slider. Fastball early in counts. All right-handed hitters in the lineup. One switch hitter in Lowry.
Rare ball one to Smolinski. Bring up all the right-handed bats, Mike. Not to read too much into these numbers. It's been 6 starts, but lefties have been able to get to Paxton so far this year, and about a third of the at-bats is righties. Left-handed bats more extra base hits. Ichiro has all day to get underneath this one. Round number 2.
I still have to believe it's an uncomfortable at bat for left-handers, especially when he has this kind of fastball.
Now starting Friday, don't miss the star-studded weekend series at Safeco Field featuring Robinson Cano, D. Gordon, and the Mariners take it on Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, and the Angels. Head on over to Mariners.com to pick up your tickets. Of course, Ohtani winning American League Rookie of the Month honors. Strike one to Simeon. No doubt it has got to be an incredibly uncomfortable at-bat. The numbers this year are kind of strange in that regard over the first month for Paxton. Wasting no time ahead of him too.
Yeah, I think we'll have to wait and see if that trend continues as the season moves on. My guess would be that it probably won't.
Swing and a miss for strike 3. Paxton is only 3 strikeouts shy of his career best 10, and we played 3. No child goes hungry this summer. Fans attending the game on Saturday against Texas may bring their unopened peanut butter donation to Safeco Field to contribute to the Ford Focus on Child Hunger campaign. Ryan Healy leading it off for the Mariners in the bottom of the third. The way Paxton's going so far tonight, 1 run might be enough for the Mariners. Shot out left center field. 1 run might be enough, and here it is. Number 4 for Ryan Healy. Absolutely crushed.
His 4th home run in the last 4 games. Came off the disabled list in the first game in Cleveland, picked up a base hit. Another base hit, then he hit a home run, his first home run, then a couple of home runs before we came home. And now this one out into the bullpen. Ryan Healy with 25 home runs last year, hit over 270. And he's at the bottom of your lineup. That's pretty strong.
402 feet for Healy, homering against his former team. An appeal on the check swing does not go 2-0 to Ichiro. Pitch walk. And we know this much: when we have seen Healy go yard for the Mariners this year, they have not been scraping the wall.
No. All of them over 400 feet. Home run, Anderson not able to throw a strike.
Gamble appears a little fired up. The 1-0 to D makes it 2-0. D with 9 hits over his last 2 games, 11 hits over his last 3 games. Not sure the last time we saw D see this many pitches in an at-bat, Mike.
Well, again, 4 straight balls to Ichiro, and he goes up there and misses with the first couple, so he was taking all the way. We'll see what happens on this next pitch. Always interesting to watch this Mariners group, especially over the last couple of weeks. Second, third time through the lineup and the adjustments that they made.
The homer, the walk now, a 2-2 count to Gordon. Anderson making his season debut for the A's. There goes Ichiro. A little tapper. Back to Anderson. Able to get rid of it in time to get D. Gordon. Ichiro into second.
Well, Ichiro had a great jump. There's nothing that Gordon can do with a couple of strikes. Trying to protect the plate. I mentioned it last night, even just the routine play that any pitcher has to make on him. It's typically about a half a step they're able to get him by. going to see pitchers on plays like that throw the ball away quite a bit over the course of the summer because of his speed.
Segura swinging to the first pitch, laces this down into left field, thumps off the wall. Ichiro tearing home. He scores. Segura is out at second. 2 outs for the second run of the inning. I'll see on the replay, Mike, but I'm not sure if Segura was expecting that ball to get back to Pinder in such a hurry.
No, I think you're right about that. Solid line drive that ends up driving all the way out to the wall. But typical of Segura being aggressive. We talked about it with runners in scoring position. He came into the game hitting .469, so that batting average will go back up for him.
Robbie on the first pitch, lace to left. Pinder able to make the squeeze to end the inning. 2 runs crossed for the Mariners in the third, and began with a bang. Ryan Healy, number 4 on the season. 2-0 Mariners. Healy the homer, Segura the RBI. Chad Pinder check swing. He goes. Another first pitch strike for Paxton.
11 batters, 9 first pitch strikes, 39 pitches, 32 strikes.
I mean, if you're in the A's dugout right now, Mike, you've seen this now for 3 innings. 7 strikeouts already for James. First pitch strike almost every time. You got to be up there ready to swing every time, don't you?
They started the game that way. They were trying to be aggressive early. It didn't work out too well for them. Now Pinder trying to take a few pitches, but with that type of fastball at the top of the strike zone, not much of a chance. Already 8 strikeouts. Second time for Pinder.
Highest average 4-seam fastball velocity this season. Paxton atop the list. Snell, a Seattle product, worked today for the Rays. Nobody's pumping it in quite like James Paxton, especially from the left side. Strike one to Lowry.
Lowry with the 1 hit for the A's. Also ruined Aaron's night.
Thank you. Macklin inning. Goodbye.
Or James has had a pretty good slider tonight. It looks to me as if he's still trying to get a feel for his curveball.
Gordon, Segura. He calls for it. He's got it for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down. Part blanket, part hoodie, all together. Awesome. When the Mariners and the Tigers square off on Friday, May 18th, the first 10,000 fans will be able to drape themselves in fandom with the Mariners blanket hoodie. Buy early and save by visiting mariners.com to get your seats. Also, college night at Safeco Field, May the 18th against the Tigers. 2 outs for Chris Davis. Strike one. Missing at 97.
All fastballs, 97, all of them at the top of the strike zone.
Paxton's 1-2. It's a piece of a slider to the ball of 2 strikes. Another 1-2. 9 strikeouts for James Paxton through 4 innings. Some big boys counter the plate for the Mariners. It'll start with Nelson Cruz, Mitch Haniger, and of course Kyle Seager. Two 2-0 Mariners. We'll take a look at our CenturyLink What's Next. Final game of the series tomorrow. Wade LeBlanc will get the start for the Mariners, filling in for the injured Erasmo Ramirez. Sean Manaea, we have seen him once already this year. He has been simply electric. Of course, the no-hitter against the Red Sox. The recent winner, as of today, in fact, of the American League Pitcher of the Month. Diaz getting Reliever of the Month. Bounces in.
One of the things with Manaea that has been interesting is you look at his fastball velocity, it is down, but throwing a lot more strikes. ERA just over 1. He's really pitched well here the first month of the season.
All 2 strikes. Well, we saw Manaea at the start before the no-hitter.
Right.
Looked plenty good to us. The 1-2 to Nelly. Way up high and outside.
One of the things I was talking about, Aaron, is with his velocity down, his ability to throw his off-speed pitches for strikes, commanding the strike zone for the most part, which has been different.
Strike 3 called.
This will be the second time that they're going to face him, so again, looking forward to the adjustments that they make.
We'll find out tomorrow. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Ball one to Haniger. Gets a call there.
Mitch came into the game hitting .303, 10 home runs, 27 RBIs.
Now Mitch made a fantastic case for American League Player of the Month that ended up going to Didi Gregorius of the Yankees. Incredible numbers for Didi as well. 10 homers, 30 ribbies, an OPS of over 1100. For the most part, though, Mitch right there stride for stride with him. And really, we were looking at the numbers in the booth the other day, Mike, yesterday. Haniger, an incredible April. Gregorius, of course. Manny Machado of the Orioles.
Lowry
was exceptional. Mookie Betts. Canna. Basket catch. Well, we've seen him make a couple of catches right on the boundary already tonight. 2 outs. 2 up, 2 down. Here comes Kyle Seager.
One of the things that's kind of interesting, I had a conversation with Scott Brocious today, and I asked Scott about it. And we were talking about it last night. More strikeouts, fewer hits. So I was talking to Scott about it a little bit. But then you look at some of the other guys that really didn't matter to them. And just some great numbers for the month of April.
Seager the opposite way, slicing towards Pender. Going to pick up the speed and make the catch. For the second time, Anderson retires the sign and order. Paxton on a roll. We go to the 5th.
One hit so far for the A's, 9 strikeouts. He has everything working. He's topped out at 98 miles an hour. Great command of the strike zone. A lot of first pitch strikes. There's a good slider for him. Trying to mix in his curveball, but it's basically been his fastball and slider tonight. Another first pitch strike. 14 batters, 12 first pitch strikes. 50 pitches, 41 strikes.
But he's sitting on 9 strikeouts. 10 is his career best. He has reached that number twice already this year. A weak wave and a tick foul. 1-2. Paxton's 1-2.
Now Aaron, In your picks today, you picked Paxton. You said that he was going to have a new career high. What made you come up with that?
Because he's had 10 twice. And there is number 10 for the third time this season, tying his career best as we open up the fifth.
Again, the fastball at the top of the strike zone at 97 miles an hour. They just cannot catch up to it.
The opposite way, second hit of the contest for the A's. Canha, a strikeout victim earlier. This time a single into right field. Now the Force Awakens at Safeco Field on Friday with Star Wars night. Tip of the cap to Han Solo. Kyle Seager will be featured in bobblehead form. None other than Han Sego. If you're one of the first 20,000 fans to be taking this beauty home, tickets at Mariners.com. Mariners and the Angels. Friday, Saturday, Sunday here at Safeco Field. Should be a tremendous series. Piscotty fouls off the first offering. Scotty, a slow start to the season. We saw that when the A's came to town in mid-April, but in a groove now, hitting nearly .330 in roughly the last 20 games. Two.
That was the curveball again, 81 miles an hour, and he likes that pitch at the bottom of the strike zone or even to bounce it. That one was above the belt. Still trying to find the curveball.
Paxton looking for a new career high. That misses a little bit upstairs at 98. The 1-2 stays alive. Paxton 10 strikeouts against Kansas City, against Cleveland, and already here tonight against Oakland.
Another curveball. You can see it's in the middle of the plate. At this point, I like what Mike is doing. Mike Zunino helping James get through this thing. And right now, again, a dominant fastball with his slider, and he's trying to find his curveball.
Another 1-2. 11 strikeouts for James Paxton, a new career best.
And another strikeout swinging. So 11 strikeouts, 10 of them swinging. This is going to be on the slider. All these right-handed hitters, again, right underneath their hands.
Next pending victim, Jonathan Lucroy. Takes Mike's mask with him. And up to the Maple Grove, Mike. Serious question. How many A cards did they bring? Are they manufacturing these as we speak? Are they the printing press going? Yeah, they're working on it. This is actually over in right field, I beg your pardon. You can tell by the hat.
And quickly ahead again. 17 batters, 15 first pitch strikes, 63 pitches, 51 strikes.
Say that again.
63 pitches, 51 strikes, and he's throwing 98 miles an hour.
Paxton a chance to add on to what has been already a career night. The 0-2. And to left, Ichiro was shaded over towards the gap, had to run a while for it. Canha pedals into third, against the stop sign there. Lucroy, impressive stuff. He has struggled against lefties this year to a tune of 111, and behind 0-2 gets a double out of it.
It's one of the few times that James on the slider didn't throw the pitch out of the strike zone. It was actually on the plate at the knees, and Lucroy just dropped the barrel on it. So 0-2, he's trying to bury this slider and just missed his spot with it.
First time runners in scoring position. And steps Smolinski. Fires the curve home that time, ball one. The best strikeout performance, by the way, this year, at least so far, is 14. It's happened twice, both by Astros starters, Verlander and Cole.
Verlander was either last night or the night before. Last night, yeah.
And it was that game he tied a career best. Ken Giles had a tough time closing it down in the ninth. Haniger in right field, nearing the track. Hauls it in. A couple of men are left stranded at scoring position. James Paxton, 11 strikeouts through 5. We'll be seeing the bottom third. Zunino, Healy, who's already gotten yard once, and Ichiro. Alaska Airlines. A pretty good chance we're going to hear from James Paxton. Once this one is in the books. James, a career high 11 strikeouts. Plenty of time for more. It is just a picture perfect night here at Safeco Field. Zunino leads it off for the Mariners here in the home fifth. You know, we have raved about the weather tonight, Mike, and many people are saying, well, you know, it's been sunny here already. Well, it has not been sunny and warm when the Mariners have been in town. In fact, if you include, of course, the weather we've seen on the road, this is the nicest day the guys have had since spring training.
Well, you're right, and it looks like it's going to be this way for a couple of days through the weekend before they head off to Toronto.
One and two to Mike. Mike, you're talking earlier about your conversation with Scott Service trying to solve the riddle that has been the first month of the season offensively for the league.
Right. And I mentioned those numbers to Scott, and I asked him pretty simple question as this goes out to right. And that was, is it just about the pitching? Is the pitching that dominant now in the way that it's being used? And he said no, he thinks that there's a number of things that are involved with it. The pitching is part of it. We talked a little bit about that last night. fact that on starters you're going to see him 2 times, maybe 3 at the most, but most nights it's going to be 2, and then you're going into the bullpen. It's a different guy every time, and 95 plus with the slider. But he also talked about players' approach, and he said that it's an all or nothing thing. They have their ace swing, and they're going to use it even with 2 strikes. It doesn't matter. It's kind of the way the game is now. But he also said that the game will adjust, and I agree with that. It always has. It always will. It's just kind of the way that these guys are and their mindset and their thinking right now. Strikeouts doesn't bother any of them, and they're going to continue to swing to try to do damage.
Flattens out for Simeon. 2 outs. Now, fans, our annual Ultimate Fan Contest has officially returned. Root Sports will be looking for the ultimate fan of the state of Alaska throughout the month of May. So send us a photo and a story on our website at rootsports.com/ultimate-fan. And you can win a VIP trip for 2 to Seattle in September, a personalized jersey, and much more. You can find official rules at rootsports.com.
I thought the other part with Scott, too, that was interesting as I asked him about the Mariners and how aggressive they are in the way that they're swinging. And we both agreed with the arms that they're seeing now. Why would you want to take strikes and fall behind? And then the other part is these guys want to get as many swings in as they possibly can. Now, the good news for the Mariners is they are aggressive, but they stay inside the strike zone. But it'll be interesting to watch how the league adjusts over the next few years and to see if that happens again. Maybe it might even happen again in another month this year.
Backhanded by Simeon. Boy, I'd have to imagine. I'd be surprised if it didn't happen the rest of the way.
I agree.
5 innings complete. Mariners the lead. What a night it has been for James Paxton as we start the 6th. 11 strikeouts over the first 5 innings for Paxton, setting a new career high. Face the top of the order. Here is Marcus Semien. Gloved out to Ichiro, and he gets back quickly over his head. Semien into second base. Join us in Denver this summer, July 12th to the 16th for Rocky Mountain Baseball Adventure. A memorable road trip experience that's fun for the entire family as the Mariners take on the Rockies. You can find more information by visiting mariners.com/vacations. Mike, I was thinking about the last time the Mariners were at Coors Field. As Pinder steps in, he's the tie and run. Batting practice, Nelson Cruz at Coors Field is awesome. That is worth that trip alone.
Yeah, I would agree. It really is awesome.
1-2. Now you can afford to make a mistake over the heart of the plate when you're throwing 96. Paxton's 0-2. Cut on and missed. A dozen strikeouts for James Paxton.
Twelve strikeouts, 11 of them swinging, and again another fastball right at the top of the strike zone, upper 90s. For the strikeouts, it's been that fastball or the slider down and in, getting them to swing over the top of it.
He's the first Mariners pitcher with 12 strikeouts since Felix back in April of 15. Out to center. Gordon angling back. 2 outs. Keep Simeon at second. You know, I haven't even. I've got about 8 baseball reference browsers up right now.
I can see that.
I haven't even bothered looking at left-handed starting pitching strikeouts in Mariners history because I know that's going to be one guy for the as I continue to scroll.
Yeah, James probably has a little way to go in this one tonight, but yeah, you're right.
That's going to be all Randy. 2 outs, a man aboard for Chris Davis.
Similar tonight though for Randy, upper 90s at times, would hit 100. Mr. Snappy, that slider, same thing. All the right-handed batters try to throw it down and in, get him to swing over the top of it, just speed him up.
Two. 97 at the kneecaps. The 1-2. Just a tad up and in. Now the 2-2. No chance. A baker's dozen. 13 punch-outs for Paxton over 6. triple to propel the Mariners to a 7-5 win over the Blue Jays. It was his 4th career triple, and we finished with a dozen of them. As we go to the Ford Sports Desk, we bring in Val. Val, you still huffing and puffing from that 3-bagger?
Absolutely. You know, that whole night was a blur. I didn't very often get a chance to run past second base, but that was a special night, especially to do it with the bases loaded.
And that sounds like it's not your only triple story, Val, is that right?
Well, you know, Aaron, with my speed, there's a lot of stories about, you know, my triples. But the biggest triple night that I had was in Kansas City, and I do remember this specifically. It was Charlie Leibrandt. I hit a long, lazy fly ball down the left field line, hit off the top of the wall. Juan Beniquez mistakenly tried to catch it, fell down. The ball caromed over towards center field, and I got to third. And about 6 innings later, Bob Stoddard, a pitcher who used to pitch for the Mariners, was pitching. And I hit a line drive to the right center field gap, and my former teammate Danny Tartable did a great job of playing that ball into a triple.
Now were any of those triples 10.8 as we saw Gordon on the road trip?
Oh, good call.
Oh gosh, you know, the way he runs. You know, I was sharing with this a little bit earlier, and when I see D. Gordon run, it reminds me of this night that, you know, in the old days when I just became a dad and had 3 kids, and I was driving a white minivan, and Ken Griffey Jr. had just bought an F40 Testarossa Ferrari, and I'm driving over I-90. The 3 kids are in the back sleeping, and Junior pulls up next to me, honks the horn, smiles, and then waves bye-bye, and he just took off. And that's the kind of speed that D. Gordon has, and it's just fun to watch, isn't it?
Hey, Val, what are you making tonight of what we've seen for James Paxton? This is incredible.
You know, we've seen flashes of this. We saw it last year in stretches where, you know, he had that one stretch early in the season where he was as good as anybody in the game of baseball. I think his stuff plays to be a true #1 ace, and we're seeing that tonight. Explosive fastball, the big break blow. I heard you talking about how Randy used to use that slider that would hit the right-handed batter's foot.
Yep.
Get those guys swinging over the top of it, and very reminiscent of that type of power from James Paxton here tonight.
Val, good stuff. Thanks for the story time.
My pleasure, guys.
The 2-1. A charge out to right center. Smolinski at the wall with room. Sykes sat down in order, 3rd straight inning, but the Mariners and James Paxton have the lead. That man, James Paxton, 13 strikeouts over 6 scoreless. There's the evidence. Chapman leads it off.
13 strikeouts, 12 of them swinging.
Most guys obviously don't even get to 13 strikeouts. Those that do normally have their pitch count through the roof because of how many pitches it would require. What are you making of his efficiency right now? 82 pitches as we start the 7th.
82 pitches, 63 strikes. But I think more importantly, he's been working ahead. A lot of first pitch strikes for him tonight. So he's put the A's in swing mode. And it's been his fastball 96 to 98 at the top of the strike zone. And they just cannot lay off of the slider that's down out of the zone. A better curveball from him. Seems to me that he's been trying to find that pitch throughout the game, and that one's bottom of the strike zone, maybe even just below.
Now the 1-2. Chops foul over by Seager. Good night to be up in the Maple Grove. Now Chapman was strikeout victim number 10. And now he's strikeout victim number 14. Caught looking at 98.
It's just an excellent pitch. You see the high target. Mike helping him out, framing that pitch.
In steps Canna.
Another curveball.
Now Paxton has now tied the major league high so far this year with 4 strikeouts. Verlander and Garrett Cole the other 2.
When we look at the game today, had 3 strikeouts in the first inning. It's been 2 strikeouts in each inning since then.
Another 0-2 from Paxton. Flicked out towards Ichiro in left field on a hop. Now Canna, on a night where Paxton has been nearly unhittable, has come up with a couple of base hits now.
And he hits a pretty good pitch. Breaking ball that's down in the zone. That's his curveball down. Came into the game hitting .309, so he's been swinging the bat well this year.
1 out, 1 on for Stephen Piscotty, who has struck out twice. It's the second time Mike has had his mask taken off.
Never seems to bother him, though, does it?
I'm not sure how, but he's used to it.
I've seen it a lot of times where the catcher will stagger back a little bit, even some umpires. I don't think I've ever seen that with Mike.
Oh, 2.
Again, mixing in the curveball more. Something we talked about at the start of the game. In his last outing against the Indians, we saw his curveball more, and I think that is something that's going to continue for James as he moves forward in the season. Again, trying to get some separations. Curveball 80-82 miles an hour. His fastball tonight 96 to 98.
Next pitch to Piscotty. Strikeout number 15. Canna staying put at first base.
Another inning with at least 2 strikeouts. Right at the top of the strike zone. 0-2 count. No chance to catch up to it. On the inside corner. See the high target from Mike.
First pitch to Lucroy. Now Paxton, the first Mariners pitcher with 15 strikeouts since Felix back in Tampa Bay in 2014 when he set a career high with 15 strikeouts. Spins in, 1-1. One and two now.
Do you like your slider down and in, or the fastball at the top of the zone at about 97, 98?
Dealer's choice for James. The 1-2. Now the 2-2. Looked foul. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. 97 pitches now for James.
And he's found his curveballs. Last 5 curveballs have been right where he wants, down, bottom of the strike zone or down out of the strike zone.
Another 2-2. Shove foul.
Another late swing on a high fastball, 98, right at the top of the strike zone. Pitch count by inning.
James is ready. Why wouldn't he be? Another 2-2 to Lucroy. Where did that miss? Just a bit inside. Now 19 strikeouts, the franchise record, twice done by Randy. 15 tonight for Paxton. Paxton on pitch number 100. His first walk. And at pitch number 198 miles an hour.
Noel Stottlemyre headed out to the mound.
We underscore the word possible here. May 6th. Possible matchup. Felix versus Shohei Ohtani. American League Rookie of the Month. A little bit in question after Ohtani suffered a minor ankle injury. Tyler Skaggs has been announced as the Game 1 starter. Garrett Richards will go as well for Mike Scioscia. Right now TBD for the Angels, but certainly a possibility we see Ohtani versus Felix on May the 6th. This will be a phenomenal weekend here at Safeco Field. Vincent beginning to warm up. In steps Smolinski. And a thing to remember too here, Mike. This has been a blast watching Paxton carve up the A's. 15 strikeouts, but it's only a 2-run game, obviously.
Exactly right. Smolinski just one of 2 A's in the lineup that has not had a strikeout today. The other one, Lowry.
Inside corner at 97.
And I really like that pitch. The pitch before the fastball that was on the outside corner, he had a pretty good swing at it. So they come right back to the inside corner, well located. Try to tie him up. Arms extended.
The 1-2. Two out, 2 on. LaCroix Canna aboard. Two on the way. Strike 3. Swings right through some high heat. James Paxton, take a bow. This is some kind of night. Sixteen strikeouts through 7 innings.
Dominant tonight.
What is Mel saying right now? Well, James, yeah, I mean, I think it's working. Just what we talked about.
Just keep doing that.
More of that.
More of that would be good. Yeah.
Cruz looks at ball 1.
Juan Nicasio getting loose in the pen. It is 16 strikeouts.
Gotta go back to August of '97. Last time we've seen a Mariners pitcher do that. And now he's had a hard time against Anderson tonight. 3rd strikeout.
Anderson has really thrown the ball well tonight. Just 5 hits.
Watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At-Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Strike 1 to Haniger. It'll be interesting to hear from Scott post-game about Paxton. 16 strikeouts. Of course, we know that there really is No fear in terms of how many pitches Paxton can go within reason, but he's at 105 right now. And the odds of him having a 10-pitch 8th inning, probably pretty rare, pretty low rather. For those who are petitioning on their couch for Paxton to pitch in the 8th inning. I mean, just a guess here, Mike, and you would certainly know better than I, but if James is at 100 pitches right now as opposed to 105,
you may let him go.
Yeah, 15-pitch inning. We've heard the number 115 thrown out by Scott before.
And Scott has talked about 115 for James.
I mean, not that this is a paint by number situation for Scott, but at 105, you start getting into kind of some dangerous territory for James. You probably want your reliever to have a clean inning if you can paint it up perfectly.
Well, you mentioned it. It's still.
Oh, watch out! I'll take the cap right off you.
You mentioned it. It's still just a 2-run ball game, right? Bottom line is you have to win the game. And for James, I think at this point 105, 80 strikes by the way. So I think that you're right about that.
I mean, seriously, when's the last time a pitcher threw 80 strikes in a game?
Yeah. 105 pitches, 80 strikes. You know what makes it interesting and more fun is what if he was at 17 strikes?
Right, I know. Warming up inside the bullpen. I mean, right now he's 3 shy of the franchise mark. Randy twice with 19 strikeouts.
Start talking 20 strikeouts now. He's 1 pitch into the 9th, and the pitch count is there for him now to where you just, I don't think you could let him do that. Now you're talking about 125 to 30. I don't think so.
I mean, it'd be nice if James could make his next start.
Exactly. Well, yeah. And the rest of them this year.
1-on-1 on for Seager. Side. Haniger making the turn, put it on the brakes. Couple of men aboard. Mariners would love to tack on a run or two here the 7th to make this lead a little more comfortable.
Second base hit for Kyle tonight. It's going to be on a breaking ball. Our Primera Supermo.
Here comes Bob Melvin. Pitching change for the A's.
What they had in store for them with James Paxton on the hill tonight, setting a new career high with strikeouts, and they had no idea what Megan was going to wear here to Safeco Field. How about this, in a full Eagle outfit in section 182. She was worried about having to explain that to the people as she was coming in. And then Nima checks in. Paxton on fire. Cameron and Dad in the building. The hashtag to use there is Where I Root, presented by Alaska Airlines. All right, so Brett Anderson's night is over. He goes 6 1/3. He allows the 2 runs, scatters 5 hits, and he strikes out 4. He throws 80 pitches, which is interesting, guys, because that's how many strikes James Paxton has thrown tonight.
Well, thank you, Angie. Here is Ryan Dole. Zanino at the plate.
Or Ryan Dole, just 5 appearances this year. In 5 innings, he has 5 strikeouts, a couple of walks. He has given up a home run. Fastball, slider, changeup for Dole. His average fastball, 91 miles an hour.
Two. In the dirt, a ball and 2 strikes. At second, Seager at first, 1 out. Downswing and 2 outs.
Not many opportunities for the Mariners tonight. Runners in scoring position, they are 1 for 2. Gene Segura base hit back in the 2nd inning.
Get home field advantage on Silver Bullet Saturdays. Download the Coors Light Rewards app and start earning points towards rewards like Mariners tickets and Coors Light beer while supplies last. Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Haley a home run in the 3rd. It's a ball 1. Home run 402 feet out towards the bullpens. Easy to forget how much spring training was lost for Ryan Haley. Minor hand surgery kept him out of camp for beginning portion of spring training. Really more than just that. There's even a question as to whether or not he'd be ready to go for opening day. Obviously he was. Then the ankle injury. The rehab games at Arkansas then has been just tremendous since coming back. 2 on, 2 outs. 2-1.
A lot of sliders from Ryan Dole. His fastball again 91 miles an hour, but he's basically just staying with his slider. Yes, also mixed in a changeup.
Playable to center. There is Smolinski. Out number 3. The Mariners strand a couple off to the 8th. The power of the digital world. By BNSF, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. By Money Tree, proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. And by Jack in the Box. This season, a Mariners double play means free jumbo jacks from Jack in the Box. The look down I-90 as the Mariners take a 2-0 lead at the top of the 8th inning. And it brings with it a pitching change. Our Beacon Plumbing call to the pin. First, a look at Paxton's line.
What a night for James Paxton. 7 innings, 5 hits, did not allow a run, just the 1 walk, 16 strikeouts, a career high for him, 105 pitches, 80 strikes.
As we transition to Juan Nicasio up on the mound now to work the 8th. Face the top third. It begins with Marcus Semien. Haniger in right field. 1 pitch and 1 out.
And for Juan Nicasio, 14 appearances, ERA just over 3, 16 strikeouts, only the 1 walk in 14 2/3. Opponents hitting 192 against him. His fastball 91 to 95 miles an hour with a slider.
And a pinch hitter here for Pinder. Joyce, who we saw last night, top of the order. Away, ball 1. Clubbed out to the gap in right center field. He squared this one up. Ground rule double. Bob Melvin's bench working out for him here in the 8th.
That's a fastball, 92 miles an hour on the outside corner. Splits the gap.
Tying run at the plate. Here's Lowry. Talked about the incredible start for Jed Lowry. How about most hard hit balls this season? Mustakas Abreu right there with Cano and Jed Lowry. Talking about 95-mile-an-hour exit velocity or more.
Well, Lowry came into the game hitting .336 overall. 7 home runs.
And his numbers recently even better than that. .355 over his last 15 games. Now the home run last night in the first inning against Felix. His 7th. Clubbed out to right center field. Gordon watching. Tie game. Home runs in back-to-back nights for Jed Lowry.
Well, it's just going to challenge him. You can see in the EQC tracer that fastball right in the middle of the plate.
Strike 1 to Davis. And Haniger's way. Round number 2. Now first was the ground rule double by Joyce off the bench. Then Lowry, his 8th home run of the season. Like, we have not been saying the term blown save very often this year.
No. Have not. with that exit velocity, he will now tie Robinson Cano, the hard hit ball category I mentioned earlier.
There's Matt Chapman. Chapman socks this out to center, right center field. Ends the inning. Everything Mitch Haniger's way. Except for Lowry over the fence. We are all tied at 2. Strikeouts in a winning effort against the Houston Astros. Stanton with a couple of home runs in that game. Also in the Angels contest, Albert Pujols with 2 hits today. Now 2 hits shy of 3,000. We'll be seeing Pujols, Trout, Ohtani here over the weekend for a 3-game series. Blake Trinan, tons of velocity, works the 8th.
Fastball slider form. His average fastball this year 97 miles an hour. 1.5 ERA, 14 strikeouts in 12 innings, opponents hitting .240. He's given up 1 home run.
On the ground, right side, Lowry, the 360 on number 1. There comes D. It's safe to say Trinan's got a pretty loose arm right now. He's working for the first time since April the 24th. He was hit in the knee by a comebacker off the bat of Shin-Soo Choo. That was in Arlington. So he's fresh.
Edwin Diaz getting loose in the Mariner pen.
There's Edwin. And that comebacker that hit him was on his first and only pitch of that game. Left side, Semien backhand. This will be a very tough play. Gordon infield single. Mariners have the go-ahead runner with speed aboard at first base.
And 4D Gordon to the left side of the infield. Semien ends up double clutching on the play. I think even if he's able to get the exchange cleanly, I don't think there's a chance to throw out Gordon on the play. But once he bobbles it right there, that play is over.
Go ahead run aboard for Segura. Gene has already driven in one of 2 Mariners runs as Matt Joyce has taken over in left field for Pinder. Joyce had the double off the bench. Looks at strike 1. Crack to the gap and left center field. Here we go. Gordon making the turn to third. He'll get the stop sign there. Segura's got a hustle. Out again at second base.
Thought he had a chance to split the gap. He dives in there. He thinks he's safe. Scott Service is holding things up.
Okay.
And he looks like he's safe.
That seems pretty conclusive. Scott's motioning to take a look at this.
His hand is going to end up on the base and his foot. Right there it looks as if he beats it. And then he's going to lift up his foot. Is he still tagging him? No. Because his hand comes off the base for a split second. But I think he's okay. And I think he's safe. Another look at it, able to get his hand just underneath the tag. And he appears to be safe.
Now hopefully this will not take long. That was a great look at it. By the way, for those who can't see into the booth at all times, our answer, safe.
There you go. Huge play. 1 out now. Runners at second and third with Cano walking to the dish.
In the last 10 years, Mike, I'm not sure how many players the Mariners have had that elicits a point from you when they are at first base and there's a ball that plugs the gap as if to say, watch out, he's coming home. Am I right?
Well, you're absolutely right. As soon as it was hit, I thought he had a chance to split the gap.
For sure.
And if that was going to be the case, I wanted to watch D run.
He's flying, baby.
He was flying.
No chance.
They go ahead and put Cano on. So they're going to go after Nelson Cruz. Mariners are 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position tonight.
Now pick your poison here. Nelson looking for his first hit, 3 strikeouts facing Anderson.
Nine grand slams in his career.
Seems like some above league average numbers with the bases loaded. Gordon at third, the infield base hit. Segura hustle doubled at its finest. An intentional pass to Robbie. Bags packed, 1 out, tied game, bottom of the 8th. Nelson Cruz at the plate.
Good arms in the outfield for the A's, but I don't think it's going to take much of a fly ball for D. Gordon to tag up and score.
First pitch to Cruz. Mariners looking to score for the first time since the 3rd. They've got him loaded.
The defense is straight up.
0-2. Now his first time up this year with the bases loaded. Now the 0-2.
Started him off with a slider. Buried that last fastball at 98 inside. I think at some point he's going right back to the slider again.
Strike three call. And you cannot clip the lower inside corner any more than that.
Back with a fastball. His fastball tonight, 97-98.
Lucroy wants to chat. Up to Mitch Haniger.
Haniger with a line drive, base hit back up the middle his last time up.
Swings through the first pitch. Same location he threw to Cruz. Ian's ready. Two.
He's just staying with that fastball at the knees. Pitching him inside.
Bases loaded, 2 outs, all time. Now the 0-2. Down on strikes. Mariners leave him loaded. We stay tied going to the 9th. For our live post-game show, for your local programming schedule, visit rootsports.com. This game tied as Edwin Diaz climbs the hill in the 9th inning. The newly minted American League reliever of the month.
And you can see exactly the reason why. ERA 0.59, 0.41 the batting average against 29 strikeouts and 15 in the third. His fastball 96 to 100 miles an hour with a hard slider.
Fastball in the dirt to Canna. Most guys struck out 2 times facing Paxton. Canna actually picked up 2 base hits as he socks this out to left, and this is gone by a ton. The 3rd hit given up this year by Edwin Diaz is a go-ahead shot in the 9th.
And it's on the fastball. Mike set up on the outer half of the plate. That ended up on the inner half. For Canna, his 5th home run of the year.
To another Piscotti. It was Jed Lowry in the 8th. 2-run homer following Matt Joyce's ground rule double. As Canna picks up home run number 5. Twisting into right field. Haniger having to cover some ground. Round number 1. Guessing maybe we don't see the ski mask again tomorrow from Mark Canna. Three hit 9, including the go-ahead blast. LaCroix has walked and doubled tonight. In fact, on a night where Paxton struck out 15, that was one of the most impressive moments for an ace hitter. 2 strikes against him, a guy who's really struggled against lefties this year. And we'll get a double out of it.
Good pitch. 97 on the outside corner and didn't get the call. Jason Bradford getting loose in the pen for the Mariners.
Two and two. Ground ball. Robbie takes his time. 2 down. Two outs, nobody on for Jake Smolinski. Fastball from Diaz, 0-1.
Nobody getting loose in the A's bullpen. So Trinan looks like he will stay in the game. Why not? He has a pretty good fastball tonight.
Not sure if there's a late inning reliever who has been used more uniquely in the American League than Trinan. A guy who is the A's closer but has worked multiple innings on a number of occasions this year. This will be nothing new for him. Healy having a hustle on the track. Basket catch to end the inning. Now the Mariners down to their final 3 outs all of a sudden. Seager, Zunino, Healy all coming up. Now Trinan was able to escape a jam, a bases loaded jam in the 8th inning. Now trying to shut the door on the Mariners here in the 9th. He got out of bases loaded 1 out.
Pretty good sinking fastball, 96, 97 miles an hour. He pitched the right-handers inside.
Seager, Zunino, Healy. Inside to Kyle.
Starts him off with a slider.
Now we have seen it plenty of times already this season, especially on the road trip. This is an offense that can get a couple of runs in a hurry. That'll be all they need tonight.
They've done a pretty good job scoring runs late in ball games.
Seager walking that one off.
At the top of his ankle, it looked like.
The 2-1.
Zunino waiting on deck.
Count pushes full. Look at the numbers this year. By and large, there has hardly been a team in the game that has abused bullpens more than the Mariners. Now easier said than done against Trinan. Here comes the payoff to the new man, Matt Olson. 1 out. See what Zunino can do with one down.
Might go for 3 tonight. Trying again, good fastball to the right-handed hitters. He's pitched him inside.
As he low ball one. How did that not get him? The 2-1. Just like Seager was, Zunino gets ahead of the count, 3 balls and 1 strike.
And another right-handed hitter. He has just buried him inside. Ryan Healy waits on deck. All fastballs to Mike Zunino, 97 miles an hour.
Tie and run aboard.
Got a pinch runner.
Some fresh legs, Guillermo Heredia. Good to see Guillermo again. Recalled yesterday.
With Manaea pitching for the A's tomorrow, we'll probably see Heredia in the lineup. Ryan Healy with a home run all the way back in the 3rd inning. Led the inning off with the home run, his 4th.
No, he is the winning run. First pitch to Healy. Now Trinan has gone ball 1 to each of the first 3 hitters this inning. Healy not too pleased.
And that was a slider, and it looked like it was down out of the strike zone.
Way outside. Not exactly as if Trinan's been ahead of hitters all night.
27 pitches, 16 strikes, 9 batters, 5 first pitch strikes.
Healy clubs this left field, base hit. Mariners have it coming aboard. Fine run in scoring position, winning run at first.
Another look at it, set up on the outer half of the plate. That's the slider at 87 miles an hour. Middle end just spinning a little bit, not a lot of bite to the slider. Ryan hits it hard.
Keeps the line moving for Ichiro. Trying his first pitch. Poured over for a strike. Tying run at second base. 1-1.
Not many opportunities for the Mariners tonight. Back-to-back innings, able to get runners in scoring position. On the season, hitting .294 as a team.
Just fouled.
Fastball away from him, just going to go with the pitch. Mariners are 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position tonight.
Now the 1-2. 2 outs.
A few times we've seen an elevated fastball at 96 miles an hour. He's been consistently down. That is a strike right at the top of the strike zone. We have D. Gordon. His 5th at bat. 1 for 4 tonight. Had a base hit his last time up.
Last hope for the Mariners tonight. Romine running at first. First pitch to Gordon. Going after it. Foul ball.
Pitch to hit. Fastball in the middle of the plate.
Now, D only has 1 hit tonight, so it's safe to say he's due. Oh, 2. Second, a winning run. Romine leads at first. 2 outs, bottom 9. The 0-2. Broken bat. Off Trident's glove. D is out at first base.
And they'll hold it up and take a look. D thought he was able to beat it out. Want to make a call on that one, Aaron? I think you beat it.
You can see the webbing pop in that glove from Olsen.
That is close. Unfortunately, he was originally called out, and that is where it's going to be tough. Another look at it. It looks as if he just beats it.
You want to be an umpire?
Again, it's not when his glove closes, when the ball hits the back of the webbing.
Oh, jeez. Well, Mike, this is when you tell us that in real life, tie does go to the runner. Right? That's in the rule book.
It does right now.
That's not just for the backyard. What a close play. Obviously, anyone else running, and this game is certainly over. Oh, here we go. Save!
Oh! All right.
Life in the ninth.
Mentioned that the Mariners this year hitting .294 as a team with runners in scoring position. The guy that has been the best form is standing at home plate right now. Came into the game hitting .469 with runners in scoring position. He drove in the second run earlier in the ball game.
Bags packed, 2 outs for Segura. Rushes him back, ball 1.
Before Gene, he was going to take a strike all the way. Typically an aggressive hitter, but in this situation, he was going to make him throw a strike. And he's free to swing away now.
Chopper. Chapman. Ball game. A wild night at Safeco Field.
Really unfortunate with the outing that James Paxton put together with the 16 strikeouts, going 7 innings, not giving up an earned run. And really the strength of the Mariners up to this point has been Nicasio and Diaz at the end of the game, and it just did not work out for him. A couple of home runs from the A's late ended up costing them.
This series now even. Rubber game tomorrow night. Mariners post-game show presented by Alaska Airlines starts right now. Val, Brad, all yours.
Well, Aaron and Mike, thank you very much. There's the star.